Hi, and welcome to the Chemistry and Artificial Intelligence podcast series. I'm Fatih, a chemist and AI business development consultant. In this episode, we'll explore one of the most fascinating mysteries of perfumery, the physiology and psychosociology of scent. Joining me on this journey to decode the new chemistry of the age are my AI assistants, Ion and Mole. Did you know that scent is more than just a molecule? It can instantly transport us back to childhood, awaken deep emotions, and even influence our subconscious decisions. Unlike sight or hearing, scent signals go directly to the limbic system, the emotional and memory center of the brain. That's why perfume isn't only about smelling good, it's a personal energy signature, an invisible identity. In this episode, we dive into the biological, psychological, and sociological dimensions of scent through the lens of artificial intelligence and emotional engineering. Today, AI can analyze emotional states to craft personalized scent profiles, shaping the future of perfumery and sensory marketing. Now let's turn it over to my AI companions, Ion and Mole, as they decode the neurobiological and psychosocial patterns behind smell. Enjoy this thought-provoking and mind-expanding journey.
Okay, let's unpack this. We tend to think of our five senses as, well, mostly equal players, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's one that operates on a totally different level.
Mm-hmm.
It completely bypasses our logical front office, you could say, and walks right into the emotional core of the brain.
We're talking about scent.
Exactly. Smell. And our analysis today, it draws from work by Fatih KÜÇÜKUYSAL. He's a chemist and also an AI business consultant.
Mm-hmm.
He describes scent as, well, much more than just a molecule. He calls it a language that carries mental and spiritual resonances.
Which is a great way to put it, because what's fascinating is how this language is both universal and incredibly personal. Every single one of those smelly molecules, it encodes an emotion, maybe a memory, or just pure chemical energy within your own brain pathways.
So that's our mission for this deep dive then, to bridge the neurophysiology.
Right, the physical mechanics, how we actually smell.
With the psychology and the sociology, understanding how this invisible chemical language shapes who we are and, influences how we act.
Precise.
And you can't really talk about invisible influence these days without bringing in technology, right?
Yeah, I really can't.
So let's hit that hook right away.
Yeah.
Because the future isn't coming, it's kind of already here. AI-powered perfume design. It can now create personalized scent profiles based on analyzing your emotional state.
Yeah, it's not just about mixing pleasant odors anymore. Our source actually calls this one of the first real practical steps in emotional engineering.
Emotional engineering, wow.
It's the ultimate blend of chemistry and algorithms.
But look, to really get the weight of these emotionally engineered scents, we first need to understand the biology. Why the nose has this kind of advantage.
Okay, foundation time. We hear smell is the fastest sense.
Yeah.
Why is that? How does it actually work compared to, say, seeing or hearing something?
It's a really neat piece of biological engineering.
Yeah.
So you breathe in something with an odor.
That molecule travels up into your nose into what's called the olfactory epithelium. Once it's there, it has to find its specific match, like a key in a lock. It binds to a long receptor protein sitting there in the mucus layer.
Finds its specific keyhole.
Exactly. And when it binds successfully, it's like lighting a tiny chemical fuse. It excites the olfactory neuron.
And that sends a signal.
Right, action potentials. And those signals, they travel directly to the central nervous system, the brain.
Ah, okay, directly. And that's the key difference, isn't it? Because with vision or hearing, those signals get routed through the thalamus first. Like a sorting office.
That's it exactly. The thalamus processes them logically before they hit the emotional centers, but smell takes the express lane.
Skips the logic check.
It completely bypasses that sorting office. Olfactory signals go straight into the limbic system. Now, the limbic system, that's the ancient, really crucial part of the brain governing our deepest survival instincts, our emotions, our memories.
So the smell hits that emotional core first.
Yes. This direct, unfiltered connection explains its power. It triggers what we call a preconscious response. You react emotionally, maybe with fear, comfort, desire first, and the logical evaluation, the why do I feel this way, that comes, seconds later.
That speed, that primal bypass, that really explains why we react so viscerally to certain smells. And speaking of what our noses can do, the numbers are just mind-boggling.
They really are.
Our sources say humans have only about 400 different types of receptors, which doesn't sound like much compared to, say, vision.
Right, but it's the combination.
The combinations, that's what gives us the potential to distinguish over 1 trillion different odors.
A trillion. It's staggering, isn't it? And it points to just how evolutionarily vital this sense was and still is. But what's also crucial to understand is that our perception, it isn't fixed.
It changes.
The whole system is dynamic. It's tied intimately to your internal state, your physiology.
You mean like hormones, age, gender? They actually change what we smell or how strongly we smell it.
Absolutely. Research clearly shows sensitivity ramps up significantly when estrogen levels are high. For instance, at certain points in the menstrual cycle.
Huh. Why would that be?
Well, evolutionarily, it likely played a key role in selecting mates, maybe recognizing kin, or even sensing danger more acutely. Your actual perception of the world and the people in it, it's literally chemically different depending on your current hormonal balance.
So, okay, when people say, that smell just takes me back instantly, that's not just poetic license.
Not at all. It is entirely biologically based. That memory is physically wired into that same fast-track circuit we just talked about.
And we know which parts of the brain are doing that.
We can pretty much pinpoint the 2 main structures involved in that instantaneous recall. First, you've got the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's emotional 911 operator.
Okay.
It processes core emotions, fear, love, trust, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
And the second?
The hippocampus. That's your brain's memory recorder. It establishes the link, the association between that specific smell and the context, the event, the person.
Right, so that explains the classic Proust thing, doesn't it? The smell of, I don't know, your mother's soap, maybe. Years later, you encounter it, and it doesn't just bring back a memory.
No, it floods you. You get the exact emotional texture of that moment. It's like a time machine triggered by a single molecule, because the amygdala and the hippocampus got lit up together when the memory was formed.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just memory recall, right? Scents can actively change our mood.
Oh, definitely. Olfactory stimuli can actively change your current neurochemistry. Certain scents, like vanilla or lavender, they're known to influence serotonin and dopamine levels.
The feel-good chemicals.
Exactly. They actually activate the parasympathetic nervous system, that's the rest and digest system. It literally tells your body to relax, to de-stress.
So we can chemically nudge ourselves towards peace just by breathing in the right thing. That's pretty powerful.
It is.
Now, before we shift to the social side, what about that subtle stuff? Pheromones. Those sources mention sweat and drostenone derivatives. How does that fit in?
Right, so these are often considered a specialized type of odor, very subtle chemical signals. They're part of that invisible language, influencing our subconscious perceptions of, say, compatibility or attraction.
Like a hidden layer of communication.
Sort of. And drostenone derivatives, for example, they're found in human sweat, and research suggests they can signal things like dominance or genetic compatibility, potentially influencing how we connect with others long before we even speak.
It's amazing how this ancient biological wiring gets instantly layered over with, well, culture. Because as soon as we move past the individual brain, scent becomes all about identity and social cues.
Absolutely, and this is where the sociology really kicks in. Psychologically speaking, the fragrance someone chooses becomes their invisible business card.
I like that.
It functions as the energetic signature defining your personal space, right? So choosing a perfume, it's actually an active choice in redefining yourself, or at least projecting a version of yourself. It links directly to self-confidence, self-integrity.
But how we interpret those signatures is totally learned, isn't it?
Well,
based on cultural codes. Like what smells clean or sacred or luxurious must vary wildly.
oh, completely. It's arbitrary based on history and aesthetics. Take the Middle East, for example. The cultural scent palette there often favors musk, amber, oud, these really intense, deep notes.
Right.
Historically, they were used in religious rituals, big celebrations, so they carry this perception of sacredness, maybe wealth, tradition.
Contrast that with Europe.
In Europe, historically, you see more rose, lavender, bergamot. These got linked with nobility, with cleanliness practices, so they symbolize elegance, purity.
And Asia.
Often leaning towards things like sandalwood, jasmine, green tea. Scents associated more with meditation, spiritual serenity, Lavender is a perfect example of the difference.
How so?
Well, in the West, its strong association with soap and cleaning products makes many people think cleanliness. But in many Eastern traditions, it's primarily about relaxation, calming the mind, spiritual practice. Same molecule, totally different cultural meaning attached.
Fascinating. And this ties back to biology, too, in relationships.
Yeah.
You mentioned olfactory compatibility.
Yes. There's this evolutionary mechanism. It's quite powerful. Individuals who have very similar genetic makeups, particularly around the immune system, often find each other's natural scents. Well, unpleasant.
Wait, like why?
It encourages outbreeding. Choosing partners with different genetic profiles helps preserve biodiversity and immune strength in offspring. It's a deep-seated biological drive.
Okay, but here's the twist. Our source notes that the perfume industry knows this.
Oh, they absolutely know this. They actively manipulate this very biochemical data. They research scent profiles that might unconsciously signal compatibility or attractiveness, leveraging that ancient biological software.
So they're essentially trying to engineer attraction using our own biology against us.
In a way.
In a way.
You certainly see it that way. It's designed to influence perceptions, which leads us right back to the modern world and how all this deep knowledge is used in, well, commerce, sensory marketing.
Right. Scent is the ultimate invisible message.
It really is. It's arguably the most powerful yet least consciously noticed tool in the sensory marketing arsenal. Why? Because it bypasses logic. It triggers those quick emotional reactions.
So a gut feeling.
Exactly. That instant emotional processing lets brands create a sense of longevity, belonging, powerful recall. The feeling associated with the brand gets cemented almost instantly, non-verbally.
What really struck me was the hard data on changing behavior. Like, we know a clean, fresh scent lemon, say, boosts how much customers trust a place, perceive its hygiene.
Correct. Simple, effective. But if you want them to stay longer, browse more.
You change the message.
You switch it up. You introduce sweet, warm scents like vanilla. These chemically nudge people towards feeling at home, feeling intimate, comfortable. And the research backs it up. Customers spend significantly more time.
The sources cited, what was it, 15 to 30 minutes longer?
That's right. And that bookstore example is compelling. Introducing a vanilla scent reportedly led to a 30% jump in book sales.
Okay, so if a generic vanilla scent can do that, what happens when you bring in the emotional engineering we talked about earlier? An AI-optimized vanilla, tailored specifically to the known preferences and emotional triggers of the store's target demographic.
That's the game changer. That's the strategic shift happening now. We're moving beyond simple trial and error, let's try vanilla, towards predictive, personalized olfactory persuasion.
Tailoring the invisible message.
Precisely. Think about the different goals. Want to convey luxury? You shift to woody, deep scent, sandalwood, maybe oud. That's shown to increase how much people are willing to pay. It non-verbally screams, this is valuable.
Okay.
Conversely, need energy, speed, maybe move people through a queue faster. You deploy sharp, invigorating notes like mint or citrus.
It really is the invisible logo of a brand, isn't it?
Absolutely. Every major corporation thinks about this now. Engineered atmospheres. And let's not forget the classic new car scent.
Which is totally manufactured.
Completely artificial, designed purely to signal newness, quality, value. The corporate scent choice reflects the brand's desired image, a clinic or a bank. They need trust, stability, soapy, clean notes.
Makes sense.
A high-end boutique. They want exclusivity, indulgence, maybe rare woods, rich resins. The point is, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, the scent of a space is actively telling you how to feel, how to behave, and how much to value what's on offer.
Wow, it's such a powerful, complex language. Okay, let's bring this back to the listener for a moment.
Yeah.
Someone wants to use this knowledge to craft their own personal scent signature. What are the key practical tips from the source material that people often miss?
Good question. The first one is maybe the most misunderstood. Skin compatibility. Perfumes are genuinely complex chemical mixes.
Right.
They react with your unique skin pH, your moisture levels, even your temperature. You might adore a scent straight from the bottle.
But hate it on yourself an hour later. I've been there.
Exactly. That's the chemistry at work. So the rule is always test on skin. Apply it to a warm spot like the inside of your arm or wrist. And then give it a few hours to see how it develops on you before deciding.
Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest past mistake.
Yeah.
Storage. The bathroom counter seems so convenient.
But it's the worst place. You absolutely have to store fragrances away from direct sunlight and humidity.
Why?
Heat, light, moisture. They break down the delicate scent molecules over time. It affects the smell, can even change the color. A cool, dark place like a drawer or closet outside the bathroom is best for making them last.
Okay, good to know. And finally, make it last on you. Application. Where should we aim?
Focus on pulse points. These are areas where the blood vessels are closer to the skin, making them warmer. Inside the elbows, behind the knees, the base of the neck.
Why pulse points?
The warmth helps to gently diffuse the fragrance throughout the day, giving it longevity. One thing to avoid, though, spraying directly onto your hair.
Why not?
Most perfumes have a high alcohol content, which can be really drying and damaging to hair over time. Better to spray on skin or even lightly on clothes.
And finally, context matters, right? Matching the scent to the situation.
Absolutely. Think seasonally, think socially. You wouldn't usually wear a really heavy, spicy, woody oud scent to a summer beach party, would you?
Probably not.
Light, airy, maybe citrusy notes work better for daytime, the office, warm weather. Those richer, spicier, deeper notes, save them for winter, evenings, more formal events. It's about matching that energetic signature to the environment.
So it all comes back to where we started, doesn't it?
It really does. Smell is so much more than just a molecule hitting a receptor. It's this incredibly profound, fast-acting language. It bridges chemistry, neurophysiology, psychology, even sociology.
Yeah, every part of our lives, from who we might find attractive to where we choose to shop, it's being subtly influenced by this sense.
Mediated by scent, constantly.
And for me, the most compelling, maybe slightly unsettling takeaway from this deep dive is where this is heading. The arrival of precise emotional engineering.
Right. The AI capable of designing a personalized scent profile tailored not just for preference, but to evoke a specific emotional state in you, the individual consumer.
Which brings us to that final provocative thought for you, the listener, to mull over. We know scent influences decisions by bypassing logic, by speeding up emotional reactions. So what happens to our sense of free will when technology can engineer a scent precisely tailored to your exact emotional state, maybe even nudging a specific behavioral goal?
When that chemical suggestion becomes that targeted, that strong, how much choice do we really have left?
Something to think about.